Hello people, this is your boy Swami Prakash again, and today I will show you how I made a Minecraft computer. Hey computer, print hello world. And that is how I made a Minecraft computer. Thank you for watching. Just kidding. It all started a couple of months ago when I saw this video. This video made me think that did anyone made a Minecraft computer in India before? And after thinking for a while and smashing my head into the wall, I was not able to find the answer. And what do you do after smashing your head into the wall and still not able to find the answer? Yes, you Google it. As always, Google is scared to show me the real information. So let's just assume that we are the first. And then, ladies and gentlemen, Project Computer officially started.
Okay, epic montage, but SPD, how did you make a computer?
Why not ask the computer itself? Hey computer, how did I made you? So the computer doesn't actually understand our language. It only understands binary language, the language of ones and zeros. Now what kind of idiot will just learn this binary language just to make something in a game made for kids? Right? I am an idiot anyways. This is a 6-bit decoder. This thing will decode 6 digits of specially arranged ones and zeros into a letter. As you can see, there are repeater lines and also redstone torches that are running into an output line of red color. As you can see, the last line is on, that is why it gives an output of letter A. Similarly, when I turn on this redstone line, it will turn off the second output line and it will give an output of letter B. Let's say I want letter T, I will open my book and I will see the binary code for letter T, and the code is 111001, which means I will turn on the first 3 lines of redstone from left, then turn off the next 2 lines and then turn on the last line, and this should give an output of letter T. And it is letter T. I hope you understood. By the way, did you know that making redstone computers is actually called logical redstone?
But SPD, how do you display these letters?
Oh, it's pretty easy. We will use 16 segment display. And also thank you Screwed112 for the layout. But do you know what is not easy? That is pressing the subscribe button and the like button at the same time. I challenge you to do it. What's wrong with you? Just do it. Did you do it? Then you must be the chosen one. Anyways, it is time to connect the decoder to the display. And yeah, I use different color for each segment so that I don't confuse myself. As you can see, I have continued the output line 1 level below. So if the output is A, it will unpower the output line, which will turn on the torches on the segment lines, which will turn on the respective segments and display letter A on the display. When I type the code for letter B, it will unpower this line, which will power the redstone torches, and the torches will power the segments which will form letter B on the display. Similarly, if I want to display letter K, I will look into my book and then I will type the code on the panel. Now this whole thing together is a single display segment for our computer. But there is a problem. You see, while copying a segment with world edit, it actually breaks it. And the segment is too big for the structure block to save it. So instead, I saved the segment in 2 parts with the help of structure blocks. Now that part is done. Now you may ask, how do I send multiple messages to different segments from a single input? Well, for that I made this monstrosity, which I like to call the connector. Let me show you how this works. As you can see, there are 2 gates or latches. The one towards the segment is ideally open and the other one towards the next segment is ideally closed. When I give an input, the input will be saved in this segment. and this gate will be closed, which will break the line, and the other gate will open, which will connect the line. So when I give the next input, it will go into the next segment and not in this segment. To save short button impulses as long impulses, I used this dropper and hopper mechanism, and even clearing the message was easy. I just ran a line of repeaters through the droppers, which will clear them, and that's what I thought. You see, for some reason few buttons stay in this dropper instead of this dropper, and then when the input will come, the message will change, and I have no explanation for this phenomena. Typical Bedrock Edition behavior. Anyways, I solved this problem by using an observer. Observer will convert the impulse into two impulses, which will guarantee the button at the top dropper. Now let me show you how this whole thing works. Now I will send a message and it gets saved. Now when I send another message, as you can see, it will go to the next segment since this segment is locked, and then when I press clear, it will clear this message. But as everything was going smooth, I ran into my first major issue. You see, when I stacked 8 segments next to each other, the last 2 segments didn't actually work, and the reason was unloaded chunks. My computer was just too big for my chunk loading area. Now there are many machines in Java Edition that can load chunks. But there is only one thing that can load chunks in Bedrock Edition, and that is the ticking area command. Finally, Google coming handy. With help of this ticking area command, I can add ticking areas which will load my computer even if I am millions of blocks away. Okay, now my computer can show multiple letters in a single line. But displays are not of single line, they have multiple lines. So my computer needs to know when to change the line. At first I thought to bring the wire around like this, but it was a terrible idea. So instead I used piston gates and a counter mechanism. So this is a very quick demonstration of how it works. Now imagine this yellow pillar as a redstone line going from down to up, and the fence gates once again represent redstone latches or gates which are ideally closed, and these are connected to counters represented by droppers which control the opening of the gates. So when I send a redstone signal, it gets stored in the counter. Now our monitor have 4 lines and each line have 8 characters. So when a counter counts to 8, it will open the gate for next line, and when the counter of the second line counts to 8, it will open the gate for third line. Similarly, the gate of last line will be opened by the counter on the third line, and this is the counting mechanism I used. There is a dropper which contains 8 items and is facing to a hopper locked by a redstone torch beneath it. After 8 inputs, all the 8 items goes into the locked hopper and the dropper gets empty. Now since the dropper is empty, the comparator goes off and the redstone torch turns on and gives a long output.
But SPD, what if I type something wrong? How do I clear it?
Well, to clear it, we need to reset the counter, and to reset the counter, I added this little comparator redstone clock which will unpower the redstone torch long enough for the hopper to flush all the 8 items back into the dropper. So when I turn on the clock, as you can see, the comparator in front of the dropper turns on and the output closes. Okay, now the monitor part is done. But don't you think so that it's lot of work to manually find a code for a letter and then manually feed it into the system? Even I thought so. And what do we human beings do if we are too lazy to do a work? We make gadgets. And there is only one gadget that I know that could help us, that could rescue this project, that could teach the system to feed itself, that could save the mankind, and that could find a solution for the lock of all my problems. And that gadget is none other than the keyboard. Get it? Lock and keyboard? Never mind. Now before you all give me a punch for that punchline, let me quickly show you how a keyboard works. Well, keyboard is a device that turns normal input into binary language. So it have 2 parts, input and output. Now I would like to thank MadBadWings for the input layout. Trust me, your logical redstone journey is incomplete without this guy. The green color lines are for the normal letters and the yellow line is for a special command to clear the screen. I connected the special yellow line directly to the system, but for the green lines, first I inverted the signal and then divided them into 3 layers. Now I have used the same principle as to display multiple segments. For each input, I placed redstone torches in special order so that it gives a letter. And for those who don't know yet, I used a special code for space which has not been used in the decoder so that the segment stays blank. Now after a few decorations like the fake camera and the fake power button, our project computer is officially done. And here are some day vlogs.